Now, the Arctic Circle was once known as a region of peaceful cooperation, but it's fast becoming a battleground for resources and territory.
Melting ice caps has meant fossil fuels, minerals and trade routes are now more accessible. As a result, countries including the UK, China, Russia and the US are battling to control parts of that region. Our Europe editor, Katya Adler, has this report.
The world is changing before our eyes. Global warming and with it, global politics. The race for the Arctic is on. This melting ice in the Arctic opens up a whole new world of possibilities. Global powers know it and they're hungry for it. Russia, North America, European countries, they border the Arctic. China is hardly known as an Arctic power, but it's determined to become one. China, like everyone else, wants the oil, gas and minerals now easier to get at here. It dreams of new trade routes too, massively shortening travel distance between Asia and Europe. Inside the Arctic Circle, this Norwegian town hopes to be the first European port Chinese ships of the future will stop. But they're also wary of Beijing.
When I became mayor October 2023, the first thing that happened was that 3 delegations from China came knocking on my door. They want to be a polar superpower. We want a relationship to China, but we do not want to be dependent on China.
With the European Arctic giving Beijing a bit of a cold shoulder, China is investing in the Russian Arctic instead, economically and militarily, with joint Arctic exercises.
Welcome to the headquarters.
That's worrying Russia's neighbour Norway and its NATO allies. Deep inside this Arctic mountain, we were taken into the heart of Norway's joint military HQ. Here they watch for Russian nuclear and spy submarines, attempted sabotage of oil or gas pipelines the UK and others rely on. NATO drills in the Arctic are showy and frequent these days.
NATO allies are practicing all sorts of scenarios to be prepared and to show Moscow and Beijing they're prepared.
It's more than just practice, it's to be able to protect ourselves.
Outside the Arctic, President Trump has told Europe, do more for your own defence. But here, they're in it together.
The Russian concentration of nuclear weapons, the capabilities that Russia is deploying are not only aimed at Europe, but also at the US.
China, Russia, NATO. There are so many rival powers now in the Arctic, also involved in conflicts elsewhere, like Ukraine. The risk of spillover here is growing. Katya Adler, BBC News, inside the Arctic Circle.